Dear friends, let's learn something very important related to T.S. Eliot, Thomas Stearns Eliot, one among the greatest literary figures and literary giants of 20th century from England. The poet was born in America, but in his 30s came to England and settled there and became one among the greatest poets of England. So let's learn something very important related to this poet. Why? Because this poet is very important for competitions like UGC NET, PGT, TGT, and so many other state exams and university exams. Why? Because he is the part of the syllabus of almost all universities of India and across the country or across the world. So let's look at some important points. Thomas Stearns Eliot. Remember this, Thomas Stearns Eliot, popularly known as T.S. Eliot, abbreviation. This poet was born on 28th September 1888 at St. Louis, Missouri, USA. Remember that. And this poet died on 4th January 1965, London, buried in village of East Coker in Somerset. These points are very important. Father, Henry Eliot, a businessman. Mother, Charlotte Stearns, interested in composing poems. Inscription, I-N-S-C-R-I, check this spelling. Inscription, something that is written on stone or wood, that is called inscription. So, epitaph I'm talking about. What is written as epitaph on the tomb of his grave, that is grave, the place where the person is buried. In my beginning is my end, in my end is my beginning. This is the epitaph written on the tomb of the grave of T.S. Eliot. This line is taken from his poem East Coker, remember, and this is his epitaph. He married Viviana Hay, an English girl in 1915. Remember that. Very important. Got citizenship in 1927. After the marriage in maybe in the month of June or May, June or July, he got the citizenship of England in 1927. And same year, in order to show his faith in Anglican Church, he wrote what? The Journey of the Magi, Ash Wednesday, and some other religious or spiritual poems. This is not editor, assistant editor of Egoist, name of a magazine from 1917 to 1919, means he was the assistant editor of Egoist magazine from 1917 to 1919. Then became the editor of the Criterion, not Criterion, the Criterion in 1923. Director of another just a publishing house, Faber and Faber, in 1925 he became. Nobel and Order of Merit, these two prestigious prizes he bagged in the year Sorry, just fine, clear. See this, maybe I may have missed it, but once again I'm telling you, Viviana Hay, an English girl he married in the year 1915. See now here, his first wife, that is Viviana Hay. This, his first wife passed away, means died in the year 1947. He married Viviana, an English girl, in 1915. Yes, 1915. 1927, he got the citizenship of England. 1947, his first wife passed. And exactly after 10 years, he married his private secretary, that is Valerie. Just hang on. Yes, second marriage to Valerie Fletcher. Valerie Fletcher was his private secretary. So he married his secretary in 1957. That was his second marriage. He came to England, that I told you, he came to England in 1914 at the age of 25. His family members called him Tom. His family members lovingly called him Tom. So it was his nickname that he got from his mother's side. Remember that. Next, important work. Now, very important works of T.S.Eliot. Birds of Prey, A Tale of a Whale, W-H-A-L-E, The Man Who Was King. These three were the short stories. This is short story written in the year 1905. The short stories T.S. Eliot wrote in the year 1905. Next, Prufrock and Other Observations. Very important collection of poems and his first work. And this first collection of poems includes some important poems like Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, Portrait of a Lady, Preludes, Rhapsody, and On a Windy Night, etc. Then second collection of poems of 1920. That this collection includes Gerontion, means an old man, A Cooking Egg, Sweeney Erect, etc. Then very important work, The Wasteland. The Wasteland, very important work of T.S. Eliot that came in print in 1922. Remember that. My bad. So this poem, The Wasteland, that is divided into 5 parts, like the burial of the dead first, second, a game of chess, third, fire sermon, that is the longest part, then death by water, and then what the thunder said. These are the 5 parts of the Wasteland. That is very important. That probably he wrote in Switzerland, and probably first time this poem was published in the Criterion. Probably you need to check it. This poem is consisted of 400, probably 34 or 33 lines. You need to check it. Very important work. This is The Wasteland. This 5 parts. Remember this. B, the burial of death. G, game of chess. F, fire sermon, longest part. D, death by water, shortest. W, what the thunder said. And then the Hollow Man, 1925. Journey of the Magi, 1927. After conforming to Anglican Church, he wrote this poem. Then Ash Wednesday, 1930. Again, religious poem. 4 Quartets, 1943. Murder in the Cathedral in 2 parts, 1935. Very, very important poetic plays. Remember, T.S. Eliot wrote poetic plays. And one among those poetic play is which one we have that is very, very important. That is what? Murder in the Cathedral. This drama, poetic drama, is divided into two parts. The setting of the play is in the 12th century. It's all about the martyrdom of our greatest just a saint, Thomas Becket, who was martyred. So, Murder in the Cathedral in two parts, 1935. The Family Reunion, another very important poetic play, written in two acts in 1939. Then The Cocktail Party in three acts, 1949. The Sacred Wood, that is very, very important. Remember this. The Sacred Wood is a collection of 20 essays by T.S.Eliot, came in 1920, and this collection includes some very important essays like Hamlet and His Problems, Tradition and Individual Talent, Metaphysical Poets, so on and so forth. Particularly tradition and individual talent, in which he talks about objective, correlative, so on and so forth. So these are certain important points that you all are supposed to bear in mind. Why? Because these bullet points will help you a lot in understanding T.S. Eliot. Very soon I'll come with some of the most important poems of T.S. Eliot.